First, you need to understand what's the challenge, because unfortunately people, they don't have this habit. They don't know how to organize, how to self-organize their job at home. Okay, question number one. I got this question: how to transfer your business online with a little budget? And let's talk about your employees, because maybe you have some chance to deal with your customers, clients online, maybe you don't have. But what we really struggle now with, we're trying to move our employees to work from home remotely. And first you need to understand what's the challenge, because unfortunately people, they don't have this habit. They don't know how to organize, how to self-organize their job at home. Some of them, they have offices, but not most of them. Some of them, they even don't have a table to work at home. And also, which is much more important, just take into account, they were and they are in your company for years. And they have some framework. They have some particular schedule. They have their routine. So every morning they appear at your office. They have some time to prepare after you open your doors, and they start to work, and they have their managers, and managers command them, they give them some guidance, and they inspect them, and everything around is very, very familiar. And when they switch and when they try to work from their home, they don't have this infrastructure, they don't have this framework. And this is why most of them, they're in confusion, even if technically they can do their job, and it's enough to have a computer, tablet, or something like this. They have a pretty reliable Wi-Fi connection, but they are in confusion. They don't know where to start. They are distracted by their kids or their relatives, and by TV or fridge. And this is the problem. This confusion is a problem. And if you want them to work efficiently, you have to give them this framework. You have to give them this some guidance, some points, some control points. And this is why when you move someone to work from home, first, you have to set up some very, very clear, very simple and short-term goals. Because it's a way how to handle this confusion, how to create this feeling of order, feeling of stability, because they don't have one. And first, if you send your employee to work from home, give him or her some certain product, some certain target, goal for a few days, not for a month, not for a few months, just for a day or maybe for a few days. It's first. Second, make your employee to write down a plan. Very particular plan with the very understandable targets. And this list of targets. And also ask them, when they write down this plan, ask them to estimate time for every target. And ask them to calculate how much time it takes to run all these targets. And it's a very simple procedure, but it's a crucial one, because the problem is people, they plan their activity, they set up targets, but they don't think how much time it takes. And believe me, they are too optimistic when it comes to their productivity, their efficiency. Sometimes, if they don't have experience in some area, it's hard to predict. They cannot predict. They don't know how much time it takes to make some calls or to prepare some reports or to collect some data. They really don't know. But you have to help them use your experience, use common sense, and you need to get this list of targets with estimated time. And please check how much time does it take for all these targets. And if, for example, for a work week, in theory, we have 40 hours. But believe me, if someone plans someone plans contains 40 hours, it's a failure, because unfortunately, when people start to plan their activity in this way, they don't take into account something unpredictable. They don't take into account something they cannot control, some incoming calls. They forget about some like usual things like coordination with their senior or coordination with their juniors and some phone calls or they just forget about something, some part of their routine. And this is why they make mistakes. So if you want to have a real plan, very useful one, and doable, you need to ask them to limit this plan for 30 at 35 hours, not more. So this is the second thing. So first thing, set up some goal, and because without this goal, they cannot conduct a plan. Second, make them to write down this plan. And third thing, you have to control it. You have to control it every day, at least once in the morning and once in the middle of the day. You have to control it. You have to ask your junior what happens. How is this going on? What happens with your plan, with your targets? Is it successful? Do you have any problems? How can I help you? And you have to focus your junior to follow this plan. And this is only one way how you can do it. So this is, let's say, managerial part of this game. And second part, of course, it's much better to use some special tools to control them, because you pay for this time. If you pay for this time, you have all the rights to control what happens. I suggest you to use Time Doctor. We use this software for years, and I have more than 100 remote employees for years. And this software helps very much because it controls what happens on this computer, on his computer. And also it controls if this person really works or does something else. So I'm not going to tell you how to use this software because there are a lot of user manuals on this topic, but I suggest you to use this Time Doctor software, and also helps employee to fill reports and for you to control how he or she follows this plan. And it's all these tools, it's not only about control, it's not about only your ability to understand what happens, but also taken into account that it helps this person really to get rid of this confusion. Because this plan, this control, this daily coordination, they really bring some points, some foundation for him or for her. It's really very helpful. And so follow this advice, and I hope it will work for you.